Hey guys, this is Anthony Morganti from OnlinePhotographyTraining.com. Welcome to my free training on Alien Skin Exposure X4. Please remember to share this video, like this video, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. In this episode, I'm going to demonstrate how you could customize the workspace of Exposure X4, and then I'm going to demo how to cull images using the tools that are available in Exposure X4. Now, first of all, as far as the workspace is concerned, when you first open the program, it's going to be laid out like this. And I did kind of touch on something in a previous episode where you could make the film strip larger or smaller by going down here at the bottom where this little double line is, and you could drag it up to make the film strip larger and down to make it smaller. And if you look around the workspace, you'll notice that these double lines are located all over the place. Over here on the right hand panel, you'll see it's right here, and I could make that right hand panel larger or smaller. Over here on the left hand panel, there's one there as well, larger and smaller. And you'll probably notice that actually each of the panels, left and right, are divided up into two parts. The left-hand panel has this bottom part with presets and history on it, and the top part with navigator, histogram, and folders. And you could change the size of those parts by clicking on this little double line thing here, and you could drag it up to make that a little bit smaller or larger. Same thing over on the right. You have the layers section at the top. And at the bottom, you have all the adjustments. And you could click on that double line and affect the size of that layers section. Now, you could get rid of the panels altogether, top, bottom, left, and right. If you'll notice on the far right-hand panel, there's this little triangle there. And if I click on it, you'll get rid of that right-hand panel. And that little arrow is located at the top, left and right, or left and bottom as well. Now, if you want to just temporarily make a panel reappear, just hover over that little arrow or triangle and it reappears. Go off it and it will go back away. You could make it permanently stay by clicking on that little triangle again. So you really could affect the size of the panels and whether or not the panels appear there at all. But there's actually even a little more you can do here. First of all, if there's a tab on one of the panels that you never ever use, you could get rid of it just so you could clean up some space. For example, let's say you never use Focus tab ever. You could right click on any of them. And you'll notice that all the tabs are listed here and they have little check marks next to them. If you don't want to use Focus or you never use Focus and you just want to get it off of the right-hand panel, just click on that and you're removing the tab and you removed Focus now from the right-hand panel. You could do that to any of them and you could make them reappear by right-clicking again and going down to where that name is, Focus, and clicking again, and there it made it reappear and it even opened it for you. And you could do that on any of the sections. So in this top layer section, if I right-click, you'll notice it has overall intensity layers toolbar. I could get rid of any of those by removing the tab. Same thing over here, or moving the check mark. Same thing on the left. I could right-click this navigator, histogram, folders, or down here, presets and history. So I could get rid of anything I never use. Also, what I recommend you do, especially for this section here that has all these adjustments, you'll notice, let's say I have basic open and I want to jump down to color. When I open up color, basic automatically closed when color opened. Similarly, now I'll open up detail and color closes when detail opens. That's called solo mode. And I really recommend that you run solo mode for this section of the right-hand panel, this adjustment section. If you right-click on any of the tabs, you'll notice down here towards the bottom is solo mode. If that is not checked, what will happen is, let's say you're doing the basic adjustments, then you do detail adjustments, then you do color adjustments. You'll notice that they'll all stay open and you'll have to really scroll to get to what you want. I feel solo mode is much more efficient. So that's why I recommend you use solo mode. And you could do that again to any of these if you want. So you could right click on the top part of the right hand panel and go to solo mode for that section. Same thing for the left, right click, solo mode, right click down here, solo mode. I personally only use solo mode for the adjustments, but really it's up to you. Make this workspace work for you. Now there's even more you could do, and to do more you have to go to preferences. If you have an Apple computer, go to the Exposure X4 menu at the very top. If you have a Mac or Windows computer, this is under the Edit menu. Go to Preferences, and the Preferences dialog box appears. Go to the Panels tab. And you'll notice that we have Navigator histogram folders on the top left, and then below that, Presets and History. Well, you could change where these things are, meaning, let's say I want folders at the very top. All I need to do is click where it has these 4 arrows and drag it to the top. And you'll notice now it's at the top. If I go back over here, pull it down a little bit, we have folders at the very top, then Navigator, then Histogram. So you could rearrange the order of these by going to the Panels tab that's in the Preferences dialog box. Now if I want folders back down at the bottom, I could do that. So you could reorder any of these. Now, instead of right-clicking on something and then removing the check mark, if you want to get rid of something, you could just click on it. Let's say you never ever use Navigator. Navigator's right here. All I need to do is click on the word Navigator, and it got rid of it. Click on Navigator again, and it reappears. So you could do that to any of these. There's also a little bit more you could do down here at the bottom. This scroll bar position, you'll see right now it's on this outside position. If I want to change where that scroll bar is, click on it, and I could put it on the inside. So it's now on the inside. Then, it could be on the left, which is also the outside, or the right, which is also the inside. So you could change that position of where that scroll bar is. The History tab itself. Exposure X4 is really great because it's non-destructive. It remembers all your adjustment steps. And you could go back through the history and undo things. Well, do you want it to remember everything, every step you did? By default, it's on unlimited, and that's what I like it to be. But if you prefer to limit it to a number of steps, it'll remember, let's say, the last 100 steps or the last 50 steps. You could just do that here. Personally, like I mentioned, I like it to be unlimited. And then for some reason that I'm not exactly sure, they have a disable grain check mark here. This is the grain adjustment over here on the right. If I click that, it really just made it go away, which is the same thing as if you just clicked on it here. See? So anyway, if you find you never use grain, you could click on that box to get rid of it. You could click on the name grain right here to get rid of it. Or with preferences closed, you could right click on any of the tabs over here and remove the check mark that is next to grain, and you'll get rid of grain. So there is a lot of beating up on grain right there. So you really have a lot of power with Exposure X4 to really make the workspace work for you. Once you have the workspace lay out the way you like it, then what you'd probably do is going to load some images into Exposure X4, and you're going to want to go through those images and determine which ones you're going to process, which ones you're going to sell, which ones, whatever you're going to do. You're going to go through this process. It's called culling. There's a lot of tools in Exposure X4 that help you with culling. The first and probably the more common thing we do is give them a flag. A white flag means that's a keeper. We're going to keep that image. A black flag means that's a reject, and we're going to probably delete that. The other status for flag is no flag at all. Sometimes just no flag means we don't know what we're doing with it. We're just going to give it a flag rating of white or black or nothing, and white means we're going to process it right away. Black means we're going to delete it, and nothing means we're keeping it, but maybe we're not going to process it right away. So you could use the flag system. Another thing you could do is you could give it a star rating from 0 to 5 stars. And there's no rules here that means 3 stars means this and 2 stars means that. It's really up to you. You come up with your own system. 1 star to you might mean that is a reject. You're going to delete it. 5 star means you sold that image multiple times. Whatever. It's whatever you come up with. Another thing you could do to help you organize your images and cull them is give it a color label. And there's 5 different colors you could give it: red, yellow, green, blue, and purple, or no color label at all. And again, there's no rules here. It could mean anything. Red means that's a red hot image, you sold it a zillion times. Blue means that's an image you've been trying to sell but never sold it. It's cold, So whatever. What I suggest you do, if you really have a lot of different reasons to delegate an image for whatever reason. You're a professional and you have images you sold, images you didn't sell, images you sell certain rights to, whatever. Even if you're just starting out in photography and images you really like, images you don't like, images that your friend likes, whatever. You could come in and come up with some type of rating that works for you. What I suggest you do, especially if you're using the star rating or the color label rating, is write it down. 1 star means this, 2 star means that, 3 stars mean that, red means this, blue means that, whatever. Write it all down and be consistent throughout your culling so you know what you're doing. So once you decided what you're going to do, how you're going to go about giving these images ratings, color labels, or flags, then you really got to go through each image and do it. One way you could do it, and probably the more cumbersome way, is just with your mouse. If you hover over the film strip, you'll notice at the bottom a little flag appears, stars appear, and over here on the right hand corner a little box appears. So you could come in here and click on this flag once, and it's a white flag. So that is, a keeper, let's say. If I go there and I click on that flag again, if I click on that flag again, it's now a black flag. That's a reject. And you can see how I kind of dimmed the image as well. If I click on it a third time, it removed that flag status totally. So we're right back where we started. Same thing with the stars. We have up to 5 stars. Let's say I want to give this a 3-star rating. Just go to the 3rd star from the left and click. Now it is a 3-star rating. I could change that rating, let's say to 2 stars by clicking on the 2nd star. Now it's a 2-star rating. I could remove the star rating totally by just clicking on that number of stars again. This is a 2-star rated image. Click on that 2nd star again, and now it removed the star rating totally. If I want to give it a color label, this little box on the right, click it once and it's red, and you can see how it made the border a little bit red. Click on it again, and it's yellow. Click on it again, it's green, blue. Click it on again, it's purple. Click on it a 6th time, and it's no color label at all. So you could use the mouse, and I mentioned that's kind of cumbersome. It's much easier to use keyboard shortcuts, and really you just have to pay attention to one row of keys, the number row of keys at the top of your keyboard. The 1 key at the far left to the 0 key at the far right, and even the 2 keys next to the 0 key. You have the minus key and the equals key, although sometimes you might hear me call it the plus key. It's a shift plus, but I like to say minus plus because they denote the flags. The minus is the reject. So on this image, if I click on the minus key of my keyboard, I rejected it. I gave it a black flag. Now right next to that though is that equals key. It's also the plus key. So if I click on that, it's a keeper. So minus plus. That's why minus is reject, plus is a keeper. If I want to remove the flag totally, just hit that same key again, meaning this has a white flag, so I had hit that equals plus key. If I hit that equals plus key again, I remove the flag totally. I could give it a star rating by hitting any number from 0 to 5. 0, of course, is no stars at all. If I want to give this a 4-star rating, hit the 4 key. It's got a 4-star rating. If I want to change it, let's say to 2 stars, hit the 2 key, the number 2 key, and now it has 2 stars. If I want to remove the star rating totally, hit the 0 key. So we have 0 stars. Now, if I want to give it a color label, you could give it every color except purple by using the numbers 6 through 9. So 6 is red, 7 is yellow, 8 is green, 9 is blue. So you can't do purple. If you want to do purple, you have to use the mouse. If you want to remove the color label, just hit that key that corresponds to the color it is now. It is currently blue, which is the number 9 key. Hit the 9 key again, and it removed that color label. If it happened to be red, which is the 6 key, and I want to remove the label totally, hit the 6 key again, and you remove it. So that's all fine and dandy. We could use that keyboard, just that one row of keys, and we could do everything pretty much, except for purple. But we could do everything else. But what would make this even better is if we auto-advance, because as it is now, if I give this image a white flag by hitting that equals key, it just sits there. I'd have to use the right arrow key to go to the next image, or maybe click on the next image with the mouse, and that isn't as efficient, is it? So, What you could do though is hold the shift key in as you do this. Hit any of those keys from the 0 to 9, 1 to 0 I should say, the minus or the plus. Hold the shift key in when you do it. And when you do it, we'll auto advance. So let's say I like this one. This one's a keeper and I want to hit that equal sign. So I hold the shift key in, hit that. I like this one. So I'm giving these white flags by hitting the equals key. So I like that one, like that one, like that one, like that one, like that one. Don't like that one. So I want to reject it. So I'm hitting the minus key. But I'm holding that shift key in the whole time. Minus, minus, plus. I like that one, like that one. I like that one. I like a lot of these. All right, so let's say I like a lot. So that's cool. Just hold that shift key and you could auto advance. You could really go through these very quickly. The other thing you could do is give it a star rating. Same way. Hold that shift key in. Let's say this is 3 stars. 3. This one's 4 stars. 4. This one's 4 stars. 4. This one is zoomed in for some reason. There we go. I cut off the hand there. That's 1 star. I didn't cut off the hand there. That's 3 stars. Okay, so I could go through these actually super quick, right? By doing that. You also could double up. Just because you have something as a flag doesn't mean you can't also give it a star rating or a color label. So this one is 3 stars. This one is red. This one is 3 stars. And this one is 4 stars. All right, so you could go through and give them labels, flag. You could double up, you know what I mean? So you could have, you know, really a super, I guess, convoluted system where something with a white flag and 3 stars and a red color label means something. But whatever, you could go through these and do it any way you like, so you have the power. Now, why are you doing this? Well, you're designating the images to mean something that, you know, whether you're keeping it or rejecting it or whether it's more involved than that. But once you do it, there's a lot of filtering tools in Exposure X4 that help you find the images that you want to find. For example, if I want to find just the images that I gave black flags to, if I look up here, right here's the filter bar. And you'll notice right here this little black flag. If I click on that, there's the 3 images that I gave black flags to. Now I could go through and delete these if I want to or whatever. So I found these images very easily. If I want to get all the images back, just click on that black flag another time and they're all back. If I want to see just the white flags, click there. If I want to get them all back again, click on it again. If I want to see all the flags that all the images that don't have any flags at all, click there. So these are images that I didn't give any flag status to at all. Similarly, you could do the same thing with the star ratings. One thing you got to look at though, right here, it's greater than or equal to. So if I click on 1 star, not only is it showing me any 1-star images, it's showing me 3 stars, 4 stars, 5 stars, whatever. It's showing me any images that are greater than or equal to 1 star. So now if I go to 3 stars and click on that, it will get rid of the 1-star images and just show me images that are greater than or equal to 3 stars. Well, what if I want to just see 3 stars? Well, I got to change this greater than or equal to equals to. Just click on it. And when you do, it toggles to less than or equals to. Click on it again, and now it's equals to. So thus, these are the images that are equal to 3 stars. Now I could double up these filters. Right now we're looking at my 3-star images. What if I want to look at my 3-star images that are also have a white flag? So I have the 3 stars selected, click on the white flag, and now these are 3-star images that have the white flag. And to undo the filters, just click on it again. So there, undo, click on that 3 stars again, and now we have all the images back. And it got rid of my film strip. But you get the idea. And same thing for the color labels. I want to see red. There's the red image. Click on it again. They're all return. Did I have any yellow ones? I didn't think I did. Go back to red. But anyway, you get the idea. Now we have red and yellow. So you could double up on like the colors themselves. See how red and yellow are selected? So I could click on, I had some blue, right? So I could click on that red, yellow, and blue. So did I have orange? Did I have purple? Anyways, So you could undo these one by one by clicking on them, and they're all returned. So that's how you could use the filters to go through your images. You also could filter by metadata, the type of camera used. Now I shot all of these with a Nikon camera, so it's not going to help. I could type Nikon in here, and it's showing all my images because, as I mentioned, I shot with a Nikon camera. And it goes to grid view when you do that, which kind of is annoying to me. Also, you could click on this little key here, and you could search by keywords. Now, I don't think I entered any keywords for here. You could see there's none. So you could search by keywords. Let's say that I did have keywords entered here, and some of these were of the sculpture, and some were of snow and ice, and I had all these different keywords. Some of these were of buildings, and I hit key, and I just wanted to see the images of buildings, and then I could do that by searching for the keyword buildings. But I didn't enter keywords, so we're not really doing that. So you really have a lot of power with Exposure X4, not only to set up the workspace the way you like it, but to go through your images and designate what an image means to you, whether it's a keeper or a reject, or whether it's a star rating or a color label. So a lot you could do here, and you could a lot of filtering tools to help you filter and find the images you need to find. Now in our next episode, I'm going to demonstrate collections very quickly, and how we could use collections to kind of sort images and find images that, or just have images in a place that we need them in so that we could do something with them. And then I'm going to actually touch on some more processing. So we're going to just start to introduce this right-hand panel, a lot of these tools over here. There are a lot of stuff you could do in processing an image with Exposure X4. So look forward to that in our next episode. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like and share this video. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, visit my website, onlinephotographytraining.com. There you'll find thousands of totally free videos and articles to help you with your photography.